Hello everyone and welcome to the Rocket League Splash Series tonight. We've got some action here on the sportiest stream. Hopefully you're all doing well on this Monday evening. We've got some action coming up for all of you here as we have two best of fives tonight. Should be a pretty relaxing night. We've had a ton of tournaments recently. Tonight's gonna be nice. We're just going back to our usual standard community stuff here. NIRV technique. On Steel will be our first match, and then we have Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion, the renamed Underworld Wolves Black, taking on LatinSeven Crimson here for our second series tonight. Our first match, part of the Rocket League Splash Series, sponsored by Gamers on TV, Invisible Entertainment, LatinSeven Gaming, Handyscarf Game, Purchase and Resell, and Claim to Fame. This is a best of five NIRV technique, who were the second place team in the most recent ATS Legends Cup 2, sponsored by Team Silenced. On Steel, which themselves have a okay record of 1-2, a newer team to this, so gotta get used to this. This is, again, week 1, that is not a lie. This is the week 1 matchup, actually, for our LSS. Even though we are currently in week 4, these teams are just going back, replaying that, because I believe NIRV technique, actually no, I think it was Steel who was added in during week 2, so they were allowed to replay that week 1 match at some point this season. Obviously, they're choosing to do it here in week 4, since they have extra time to get that sorted. And NIRV technique takes on Steel. This best of 5 match. NIRV are 2-1. They only lost this season, coming to KCG Pandas in a game 5. Steel only win actually against Affinity for Board, who themselves are actually not had a very good season here in the Legends Cup. They were incredible last season. Actually not doing so well this time around. Their record is 1-2, which is not great. Steel, they're trying to, improve as this one goes by. They're definitely not the favorites in this series. And we're going to get closer and closer to that match. Start time here is, again, to get everything put up and ready to go as soon as we can. Our first of 2 series later tonight. Again, we'll have Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion taking on LatinSeven Crimson, which will be a nice match at the end of the night here. Again, the renamed Underworld Wolves Black. LatinSeven, who is an org we don't see often. In a rematch, actually, from earlier this season, the Evolution Championship Series. But for now, again, this is Rocket League Splash Series. Best of 5s. Again, we'll get these teams in just a moment. Again, just getting... I'm pretty excited for this. We're just going to get into this as soon as we can. Again, we're just looking to get things started as soon as we can. Apologies on the delay we are incurring right now, but just a few minutes. We'll get everything up and running. So again, NIRV technique takes on Steel in our best of 7 matchup. Again, apologies on these on this delay. I don't know where these teams are, but they should be here any moment. Actually, why am I saying delay? There's no delay yet. These teams don't have to join yet. Maybe I'm just impatient. Here, as again, we'll review the rosters while we wait for them to join on in. And it's NIRV technique. I think it's the exact same rosters, except unlike the last event where Tritone was added as a sub at the end of the tournament, he's now the captain. He has been on this team for a while here, but it's Tritone, Stingray, who we've seen, Ruin, and Oatkicker. We've seen all these players before for NIRV technique. A very solid defensive style roster last time we saw them here. Again, just known to have a really good defense. They like to keep games close, keep them low scoring. Steel on the other side, we're going to see how they play here. With Sanity, Beastie, and Profi. As in the lobby is Tritone, Stingray, as well as Oatkicker, or Odie, as he sometimes goes by. Again, we'll wait on the side for Steel to come in. They've got their 3 players running in just about a minute or 2 from now. Steel, a very new team to this stream and to this league. NIRV as an org is also somewhat newer. RLSS, although we've seen a lot of them, we have seen Technique as well. Again, back in the Legends Cup, they got second place, falling only to 100x 3AM, who themselves have really impressed me recently. We've seen them a lot. Well, they're currently 4-0. They've only dropped a single game, so there's a very good chance, again, as I mentioned, 3AM, there's a good chance they're going to be moving to Cyclone Cup next season, so they've got to be pretty excited for that. And we're just looking to get things up and running very, very soon here. As again, we're hopefully going to get things soon. Sandy actually just messaged me. We'll be getting this up momentarily. Both teams have messaged back, so we're good to get things underway. Again, it's a little more chill, which is nice about today. As again, we're just waiting on these players. There we go, we got confirmation. We're all good to go, so again, NIRV Technique versus Steel. NIRV, obviously part of NIRV Esports, which again we saw NIRV Esports also just recently, yesterday, got third place in the U2 Oregoner Showdown, part of the Paradise Cup Oregoner Showdown. So, I mean, we know what these guys have. Is here comes Sanity, Beastie, as well as Profi, although it says Swavey. I wonder if actually they've made a roster change and it has been updated here for Steel. Give me a moment while we get things sorted out here and confirm rosters. Again, I'm currently going to make sure we are good to get things here, as we got again, apologies for the delay. We have to check here on a roster issue, because there might be, because actually Steel are playing right now. I have a player in the lobby that I don't recognize, so let me go find that one here. Again, we are going to currently get, again, sorted out here, because I don't actually recognize if this is the correct roster for Steel here, so let me currently... Apparently Swavey has been added, it just hasn't been reflected officially, so... I know sometimes some of these leagues can be a little bit slow at updating things, obviously. I didn't know Steel had a fourth player in Swavey. And as soon as we get just confirmation on that everybody here is actually on this roster, there we go. Okay, we got confirmation. Swavey is actually on this roster, so again, apologies on that delay. Had to just confirm things there with both these teams, but now that we know everybody is here and should be here, we've got our best of 5 about to go underway. NIRV Technique of NIRV Esports takes on Steel. Some teams, I think these teams are both new to the Rocket League Splash Series, but we had to see them here in a Week 1 match scheduled in Week 4. Steel on the orange, and NIRV, who, again, as I mentioned, one of the strongest defensive teams I've seen at this level, on the blue. A lot of this series, I think, is going to really reflect a lot on how much control NIRV have in this game. This Overworld's team, they don't score a lot, and they don't give up a lot of goals either, from my experience watching them. There's gonna be a lot of defense from NIRV, but again, this team very, very good. You really have to beat this team with overwhelming offense, which in its own right is pretty tough to do. As Outkicker will look to clear this one out, stopped by Swavey, but there's a demo there. Stingray going for net off the crossbar. Steel will be playing a little bit more on the defensive side at this point, as NIRV looking for some passes. Sanity will see this one away as Stingray dunked out Beastie. NIRV playing with some early pacing here, not looking to slow down this game at any point. No goals in this first minute so far. Still plenty of chances to score as well for both these teams, and what we're seeing from Steel, we're seeing that team reliance. There's going to be a good amount of team chemistry really put to the test here for Steel. And ARV as a side definitely have that chemistry too. I mean, all these teams have been together for a couple weeks at this point. No surprise to see them try to lead their way through as Beastie unable to get past Tritone, who, again, coming into the Legends Cup 2 was one of the scariest players, even though he only played on the final day of action. And again, knowing this NIRV Technique team and what they're made of, Tritone's going to be a pretty strong defensive leader, but not a great play there from Tritone. Did jump over the ball, but he will see this one out, and with 30 boosts to go, unable to get past Beastie. Stingray, though, wins that 50. That's left to the midfield. Oh, can't get there easily, but another clear attempt as Tritone on no boost. Swavey looking for net, and it's Steel with some offense for their own, and as I said, reliance on that team chemistry. Steel as a roster know each other pretty well. This is going to be a team of players who are going to try to find each other in open room. Especially against the NIRV Technique defense, they're going to need to connect on a lot of passes. This NIRV team is not one that you should expect to beat very easily. You've got to create some pretty good chances to beat them. Especially if you want to take a multi-goal lead, is very difficult against NIRV. As off the back wall, Sanity unable to collect. Slavey's miffs on it too. Beastie able to clear this one away as NIRV dunked by Stingray. Beastie always whiffed this one. It's gonna go in. Stingray will take goal 1. And NIRV Technique off to the races already as a miss from Beastie. And Stingray forcing out the defenders with those intentional shots off the target. NIRV Technique take the first strike in game 1. More than halfway through. The goal scoring has only started. Stingray unable to get around Sanity off the kickoff here. Steel looking for some new power. Tritone missed on this one. Stingray not going to get to it as Outkicker will call for it himself. Tritone again. Outkicker. That one cleared in the midfield. Swavey trying to bump out Tritone. Instead will be met by Stingray. NIRV Technique going to get yet another clear out of the way. Outkicker off that back wall. Sanity will clear this one back. There's Tritone. Gets this flick. Now a dunk on Sanity. That back line will open up, but NIRV Technique stay close to it, although Outkicker doesn't challenge, and it's Sanity for the midfield. Steel takes one back as Beastie connects with Sanity. The pass goes through, and finally Steel cracked the code of NIRV Technique's defense. Taking them a long time, and as I said already, these games are going to be very low scoring. NIRV Technique overall as a team, just one that you're not going to score much against, and one that's not going to score much against you. It's going to stay close for the most part in this series. As Tritone, Outkicker gets past Beastie. Now he'll look for the net. Sanity will be there to block. Stingray whiffed out to the midfield, blocked by Swavey as Tritone's shot unable to go through. NIRV Technique staying close onto this as Tritone. Beastie off the back wall. It's Stingray and NIRV with space again as Swavey back in for Steel. Sanity to Swavey. 30 seconds remaining in game 1. Steel looking to take calm control here. Oat Kicker. Stingray, unable to get that touch, and as time winds lower, overtime looming ahead of everyone. NIRV technique. I've played a lot more defense this game, as I've already predicted. But also as predicted, their defense is just as strong as it usually is, and still having issues being able to break through, as this game, during OT, Oat Kicker wanted to keep it up, but eventually we will go to golden goal situation. As again, this best of 5 only just started. These teams throwing plays at each other. Steel, looking to have this OT end quickly though. Stingray will block. Beastie now. Swavey, redirect! That's not on, but Sanity will! That's going to end game 1. It only takes one chance in OT. Swavey's shot caught Stingray and Tritone on the front post. It's Sanity's follow-up that will see goal. And it's Steel with game number 1 off the overtime winner. NIRV technique with the pressure against them. Again, such a strong defensive team, but they are going to need to break out a little bit more easily. As this pressure really is going to get to a lot of these players. As again, I noticed that we had a follow in between in that middle of that game. Thank you for the follow, Rocket Boy, at the top. Welcome to the sportiest stream. It came in time to see Steel versus NIRV technique. Our first of 2 matches tonight here. This part of the Rocket League Splash Series. A week 1 match scheduled actually for week 4 of this season. Again, thank you so much for your lovely support. As we are hoping to get into game number 2 here, as Steel taking the full amount of time, actually in between these games. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit nervous here. I mean, that game 1 was not very easy for them. It was very close. They've gone to game 5 3 times already this season. That's all their matches so far. NIRV, they've gone to game 5 once. None of these teams have ever won or lost in a sweep, so maybe the series will follow that kind of run as well. Now, though, we go straight into game number 2. All the work that these teams have done, it gets reset. They Steel up by 1 game. They won't be up by a goal, though. Once again, NIRV technique score first. This time, though, only taking 3 seconds instead of over 2.5 minutes. Right off the kickoff, Tritone finds the left post open. And it is NIRV who are looking to change things around here in game number 2 as Sanity. Trying to turn things around for Steel. Swavey up to the side wall. Beastie off the ceiling. Space for Beastie as Sanity! And that's tied at 1. Steel answer back. And with a thunderous strike from above, it will be lightning that strikes in front of the net. Sanity drives it past Tritone. And Steel at a 1-2 record, proving that maybe that record will be changing for the better for the Steel side. NIRV looking to go upfield back again. Stingray 50'd in front. Tritone unable to win that challenge. Steel will keep the ball. Beastie. Reflip touch. Stingray will be there to block. His Oat Kicker. Oh, what a touch there. Right to Tritone. Back to Oat Kicker. Beastie there to save, but Steel not really all that ready. They had an issue there getting back to defense. You saw both players, Beastie and Swavey, rotating on the same side. Steel does seem like they have a bit more of a tendency to fall apart on that rotation. But how many of these rotations are doing, without really looking at each other? They're just trying to play fast. It's working on getting chances, but it does sometimes unravel. Why players, like Sanity, who are often waiting in the midfield, are going to be so heavily relied on. Sanity bumped out of the way there as Swavey. Keeping the dribble is Swavey. Here comes Beastie. Will be easily jumped up to by Tritone. And NIRV keeps up the offense as Oat Kicker. 50'd with Swavey. Stingray able to get through Sanity all that easily, but this game staying tied at 1. The same scoreline we saw at the end of Game 1's regulation phase. Still obviously able to win that out of OT as we had already seen. I'm sure they don't want to see it again though. I mean, we saw that in between Game 1 and 2. They took that whole minute in between games to talk things out. Also, you can tell that Steel's feeling a little uncomfortable, and for good reasons here. NIRV, if they can score, and they will, it really does put Steel on the back foot. They've got a lot of pressure on them to play as well as they can. Knowing NIRV's tendency to be able to strike quickly. Don't want to take too much time in getting that goal back. NIRV's defense, known to challenge early, known to challenge smarts and Steel. Again, what we've seen from them is they need to bring quality plays to get those goals, and they don't happen often as Stingray will not have the chance for the double tap as Sanity booms this one down the field. Now it's Tritone. NIRV with space, but maybe he's going to cut that out very quickly. Stingray. Sanity unable to collect as Tritone. Looking across, saved by Beastie as Sanity will chase this one down the field. Space for Steel. In fact, space to score. Tritone, though, gets that clear and nobody back. It's open, and O-Kicker's whiffed. The net was wide open. Tritone will take it. Oh, what a turn of events at this point. O-Kicker had an open goal, missed on it completely as a double commit from Steel left it there. A Tritone came up as well. And it's NIRV who look to take a game back. 2 minutes left. Now the pressure really on Steel to get those goals. But Beastie looking to get it started. Stopped by Stingray. Swavey now. Stingray. Across the net for O-Kicker, but what a pass! Saved by Tritone, who has been a defensive rock for NIRV so far. Even in Game 1, he's been standing tall. NIRV keeping Steel to a limited number. You can tell Steel throwing up a lot more players at this point. As Stingray going for a zap dash and a position like that. Quite an impressive mechanical move we don't see often at this level. As O-Kicker now finds Stingray. Will be kept out by Sanity as Tritone now. Up in the air. Will not be able to get around that player. Now O-Kicker. The back wall is his. Sanity won't be able to challenge. Swavey will be waiting. Steel. Across the net is Beastie. Sanity already up. Looking for number 2. Swavey unable to get the shot on. And time winding low here for Steel. Game 2, and what would be a tied series if NIRV keeps this lead as it is. Looking very, very likely. Steel pushing through. Beastie as the flick will be saved out as Swavey beat by Tritone. It's going to be 4-1 as O-Kicker is going to have one more. And that should surely secure Game 2 for NIRV. You know, I mean, without heavily Steel's pushing up for offense, overcommit starting to become much more likely for them. And that's why NIRV is catching them right now. Steel trying to force out that offense. They're just not getting the number of goals, number of chances they want in this game. And again, NIRV's defense so tough to deal with. You have to play patiently against them, which is something that so many teams don't want to do. Again, there's only a very select number of teams that really will have their way with NIRV. And those are the teams that are going to be at the top of the division. The top of the Tsunami Cup as a whole, as Tritone looking for a flip reset. Will be kept out by Sanity as 10 seconds and counting. One more goal to go in. That's off the back post from O-Kicker. Tritone now. The Stingray. They're just going to play a little bit of pinball here with that orange back wall. And eventually Game 2 will mark its end. NIRV technique tie the series up at 1. No real questions, I think, from how these players have been feeling. But that's the kind of way that NIRV technique is going to play. They're going to force you to play up and force you to play aggressively. And unless you can reliably keep on that offense, generate perfect chances, those just aren't going to happen often. And for Steel, one of the biggest things this team's going to have to learn about this NIRV team is going to be a marathon, not a sprint, to beat them. The goals just aren't going to come very often, or when they want them to. A lot of this battle is going to be the battle if Steel overcommits or not for offense. Because if they do, NIRV technique have a perfect counter for that. That's what their playstyle waits on. It waits on teams to overcommit. Because once teams do that, that's when NIRV starts racking up these higher number of score counts, like 4, like we saw last game, as now they'll start off scoring here. Stingray off the kickoff, and once again, 3 seconds into a game, and it's NIRV technique on the board. Once again, Steel unable to win that first kickoff, and well, now they're already a goal down. They've got to start pressing up high, which is, again, what caught them last game. As another kickoff going the wrong direction. This time it won't go in against Steel, but still, you're starting to see that set piece really come back to bite them here as Stingray unable to get past Beastie. And Steel will look once again for the clear as Tritone. Back in by Sanity. Now off to the back wall. Oat Kicker. Dunks by Swavey. Tritone. Leaving it for Stingray. NIRV keeping control of the series so far. Winning a lot more of that ball possession against Steel, trying to play a faster style offense. And as I said, trying to play this as if it was a sprint. It's just not going to work as a miss there. Will be another one in for NIRV. It is 2-0 right now. As Beastie unable to get that touch. NIRV technique with full control right now. As Beastie. This one will bounce off the corner, flip a reset. Stingray. Not going to be able to make that touch as Swavey's whiffed on it too. Steel looking to recover at this point, not only from the goals that they've given up on from these, from this lack of confidence that we're seeing from them at this point. They're not nearly as fast, not nearly as aggressive. Maybe that's a good thing, because again, it means they're slowing down, trying to take more control, but NIRV has definitely won on ball possession. Steel, again, having a lot more struggles in keeping the ball closer to them. Odie. Tritone, here's his chance to attack, but Sanity will be there first. Stingray. And Tritone. Pushing through the midfield, and they've got a good chance in front. That will be kept out by Swavey. Oat Kicker. Off the corner. Stingray unable to challenge. Tritone looking to expeditiously push in that midfield, but NIRV once again being sent back, but again, it seems like it's a benefit for them because Steel just can't keep the ball for more than a couple seconds for NIRV take it away as Tritone bouncing down in front. Oat Kicker unable to get past Swavey. Beastie now. Oat Kicker again. NIRV holding multiple goals up against Steel. Still looking for more as this game has a lot more time in it. They're also just looking to shut down Steel once and for all. Steel has only been able to score a goal per game at this point. NIRV technique could limit that number to even less. Right now it's Steel's chance to attack. Oat Kicker a bit slow, but it won't be enough for Steel to get that goal. As Stingray. Oh, what a collect there. He'll chase down this one. Dunked on Swavey too. Steel once again caught out as Stingray unable to find an infield option as Oat Kicker was waiting, but it was a lot further away from the net than Stingray was hoping for. That means for Steel, they'll have the ball back as soon as they can get to it though. But as soon as they do get it, immediately NIRV technique wrestle it away from their control. Again, it's just been that kind of game plan, that repetitive process of, Steel looking to take that ball and then immediately losing it to an NIRV technique challenge. That's when NIRV technique generate offense and chances, and eventually, those chances are going to find the net. They haven't had to score in a while though, because when they're leading by 2, NIRV are looking pretty comfortable as Oat Kicker. Kept out by Sanity. So maybe a chance for Swavey. And Beastie in the midfield. Tritone waiting, and a demo on Swavey will open up spaces. You saw that play there from Oat Kicker, removing the player in front in Swavey. And just limiting Steel's options, and Again, NIRV have done so well to limit the amount of control Steel have ever have on the ball. Again, so little time to create opportunities on offense. It really does limit a team's success. Steel, unable to make those passing plays that we saw them, really look for in Game 1. We haven't seen them ever since, just because NIRV technique have improved on challenging and have just kept the ball away from Steel. Stingray. Wasting out time in the back corner. Still Stingray. With room to work with, Sanity will clear this one back. Steel, Sanity. Oh, got both to jump. Team bump for NIRV. This should be in. Saved off the post. Who wants the shot? Nobody from Steel to challenge Stingray. They will get it back, though, as Beastie. Stingray, double commit with Tritone. Sanity now. His play, blocked by Stingray. Time ticking down, and Steel won't get another chance. NIRV technique. 2 games straight. Match point is theirs, as they're 2-1 record in the RLSS, now 1 game away from being 3-1. Again, with how this team has been performing, yeah, just an incredible performance in Game 3. That's the kind of NIRV technique playstyle that they are used to. And these early leads for them have definitely not been hurting them. When a team gets up to a 2-goal lead that quickly, good luck on trying to slow them down. As we'll move into game number 4. NIRV technique. Their chance to take the series and to advance their record to 3-1. And once again off the kickoff. And once again, 3 seconds in. It's almost like clockwork for NIRV. 3 seconds off the kickoff, they score. And it's as if this game needs to repeat itself. But again, Steel struggling on the kickoff. It has been a consistent issue for them. And for the last 3 games, every single time off that first kickoff, 3 seconds in, they get scored on. NIRV really can take those early leads to heart. Again, for how they're playing, I feel like the last thing Steel wanted to do was give them an early lead. It can only get, with the possibilities only getting worse for NIRV. If they can get a second goal, I don't know if Steel can take them down here. And Steel have been limited to only 1 goal a game at max. Obviously, as we saw from last game, they can be shut out by NIRV. And for how NIRV have been playing, they don't need that much, I think, to take this game. Let's try Tone, looking to get another one. Stingray, that's number 2. Oh, it's off the crossbar. Still the net's wide open. Stingray, double, triple, it's in. He'll make sure it stays in the net. As that pass really did start it out, it's just a little unfortunate for NIRV they didn't score off of it. But Stingray's going to make sure it goes in eventually, even if it takes a triple tap to do so. Right in front of the goal line. He won't mind, he won't complain. NIRV technique. 2 goals up and already feels like hope for Steel is waning. As we saw from last game, it only took 2 games before NIRV technique were able to soar away from Steel. And at this point, they're still looking for a third, but that shot from Stingray will be wide of the net. Oat kicker. Steel looking to send this one back as Stingray Swavey out and away from the net. Now in comes Oat kicker. Tritone waiting, but that pass goes above. Stingray is still there. He never left the offense. And it's a third for NIRV and a third for Stingray. And with how they've been playing and how they've been looking, this should not come as any surprise for how this series has looked. NIRV have kept ball possession, have kept field domination. Every single game, they have been improving on their performance and keeping Steel further and further away. Sanity looking for an answer. Steel, at this point, it feels like it's one where they have to score sooner, or else this game and this series will be over. As Stingray Another chance on, this time. Just a little pop-up touch, no one there to follow. Steel on the ball as Tritone. Stingray gets that one through. Beastie. Steel already recovering, but I'm running very, very low as Slavey's whiffed on it! Oh, it will be saved away by Sanity. Steel nearly giving away a fourth goal. And at this point, if a fourth gun does go in, I mean, there is no way they come back from that deficit. And again, with how this match has looked, NIRV technique just continued to improve every single game. And one of the teams I think is going to be doing pretty well in this league. And they've got such a good defense that, I mean, you're seeing it at work here. Steel, just again, unable to keep ball possession for all that long. You really got to create quality chances if you're going to beat NIRV technique's back line. And Sanity trying to do so there, does get the bump, but Beastie, Steel, Stingray avoiding that bump as well. Able to clear this one out. Swavey now. Stingray leaving this one as he left on no boost. Will rely on Oak Kicker and a flip reset air dribble. That one only back to Steel's hands as Sanity. Stingray already up. Blocked by Swavey. Oak Kicker. Pops back in by Beastie as Tritone. Up is Tritone. Oak Kicker looking for midfield. But Steel will block this one out as NIRV going again. Stingray right on top of it as Swavey's been beat. Stingray again. Sanity's waiting. Infield pass. That one still out of the reach for Tritone. And NIRV so close to making this 4-0. Steel need a goal soon. Time running low. And it is Sanity who'll get it. But really it all starts with Beastie. Off the back will fake the early shots. And he caught NIRV jumping. Sanity only has to put the shot on that net to find the goal. And Steel have scored. But they'll need to keep up that offense. Stingray. Beastie been bopped out of the way here as he'll 50 this with Tritone. Swavey now. At touch. Not able to find the nets as Oak Kicker. Beastie on the whiff. He'll leave it for Swavey. He'll be demoed for his efforts as Steel unable to get more offense. I'll have to restart from square one. Swavey's touch. Only out to Stingray. One touch. Stingray not going to get the next one. But again, Steel unable to find an outward pass. All the time cut out by NIRV. As Stingray, that's open! And it is goal for NIRV. And at the 30-second warning, too. Does Steel have any chance of coming back? The outcome right now already seems like it's been answered. NIRV technique. With another kickoff win. Steel unable to break out of the back lines, and it will be NIRV who will see this series as theirs. Sanity wanting one more will be blocked out by two defenders as Beastie. Flip reset. NIRV limiting Steel to have no more goals. Swavey's still searching. Oak Kicker will clear away as time will expire. NIRV technique will win the series 3-1 and will take down Steel. Their record now improving to 3-1 in the season. The week 1 match, which again had to be rescheduled, well, it's ended here, and they'll be the ones to take it. NIRV Technique are the Legends Cup 2 runner-ups. Showing that even in the Rocket League Splash Series, they themselves are looking just fine. 3-1 scoreline. NIRV will take that one here. And for how good their defense has been, as we've seen, it has not changed. NIRV technique, just again doing what we've seen them do before, what they have been known to do. The last time we saw them, though, was that loss against Hunter 3 AM. It's time they've ever won on the stream, but mean, even when we saw them against 3AM, we knew this is a roster that has a defense that just knows what they're doing. As, again, just make sure thing sorted out there. Again, our first of, again, is going to be 2 matches tonight. As, hello, Wall, how you doing? Nice to see you in chat. Thanks for dropping by here as we got to see NIRV Technique win that series 3-1. Here we take a look at our scheduler. Next match, Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion. As they take on LatinSeven Crimson. Another best of 5 here, but for the Evolution Championship Series. Out of week number 8 in that league, the final week of the regular season. Underworld Wolves have not won on this stream yet. This is a good chance for them to take their first ever stream win. We've seen them so many times as well. Again, we'll see if that happens, or if LatinSeven Crimson can once again prove and actually get revenge against a team that beat them earlier in the season after this quick break. Welcome back to the sportiest stream and to the Evolution Championship Series we go for now. So thank you all so much for sticking around for our second match of the night. If you take a look at our schedule and what we saw earlier, yes, earlier we did catch NIRV Technique beating Steel 3-1. Now we have Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion versus LatinSeven Crimson. Later tonight, another 3v3 best of 5, but this time that Champ 1, Champ 2 range. And again, Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion, although that name's long, this is actually just the Underworld Wolves Black roster, just under a different name. Again, that's what we are going to see here as well. And we'll see how things go here, as again, this is a best of 5 series, as Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion did win versus LatinSeven Crimson back in week 1. They actually are having a rematch, not remake, rematching here in this match tonight. LatinSeven Crimson, only 1 win so far this season, so then they're actually in an awkward position this season where they actually are fighting for a playoff spot, which is common. There just aren't that many teams that are going to be missing out on the playoffs this season for the Evolution Championship Series, and yet they actually are a team that could potentially miss in the... No, they can't. They can't miss it, actually. They're actually in a position where they can't miss it, but obviously still, seeding is going to matter a lot in the top 16. There are 16 teams left, I forgot, in this one. They've only got 1 win this season. That's against RC Cars, who themselves are one of 2 teams that are ranked below them right now. So, again, at this point, they're just looking to get that confidence for themselves here. As again, the LatinSeven org returning to the stream. We don't see this org a lot. They not ones that we generally... That's not an org we get on the stream very often, but shout out to that org, by the way, if they're watching. I've seen so much of what the LatinSeven organization does, so again, shout outs to all of them. As again, Underworld Wolves and Legion. Reminder, Underworld Wolves have actually not won yet on the stream. They have, every single time they've been on the stream, I think they have lost, so maybe we'll see things turn around for them. At least they haven't won yet this season on this stream. As we've seen this team back when they were black, when they played Hydra Vigen, lost that. When they played Evolve Astra, they lost that. So even before when they played Vortex Genesis, which was a match that they lost as well. Also seen Underworld Wolves White, who are known as Underworld Phantom Wolves actually, and they lost to RC Trifecta earlier this season. So again, we're still waiting on that. As in Underworld Wolves, the last time we saw them, I don't think the last time we saw them win was a pretty long amount of time ago. If I don't even remember if we have seen them win in the past. We saw them play against Sporting Midwest. Even before that, they lost that in the round of 16. This stream's bad luck, I think, for Underworld Wolves, specifically, because again, we have not seen them win on this stream. Very, very long time. And the last time we've seen this version of the roster with Aiko, Grim Queen, and Mari win, back when they were on the Alpha Females, before Underworld Wolves was even a thing. When they took down their series, they took down, I think it was Turtle Island. And I think that was the last time we saw them here win on this stream. Again, that was a very long time ago. I was back November 21st of 2020. So it's been a very long time since we've seen them win on the stream, so maybe this will be able to turn things around for them. We do generally seem to see them in the matches that are much tougher for Underworld Wolves, so maybe part of the reason why I've not been able to see this team win, even though they've had very good performances, is just due to the unfortunate circumstances of we get to see them play against other very, very good rosters. But again, tonight they play against LatinSeven Crimson, a team that they've already beaten once this event, and back in week 1. Maybe we'll get to see them again ever since, again, November 21st, 2023, or for Underworld Wolves, the first time that the org has ever won on this stream. Again, we've gotten to see them a lot as well, as an org. In fact, let me count how many times we've seen them. We've seen them so much on the stream. Again, we saw them. I'm just going to count how many times we've seen them on the stream. It's been a lot, so... to say that I'm bad luck is definitely realistic. it's been 7 times we've seen this org on the stream. 6 of them. 6 of which has been the Underworld Wolves Black, now Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion side. So, again, it has been very tough for them to be able to get wins on this stream, but we'll see if they can do it here. Their record right now is 4-3, and 7's record is 1-6. And this is week 8, on a week of the regular season as well. Well, a lot to play for this week for both of these teams, in that it's right before the playoffs, right before that, again, right before the single elimination brackets, so they're definitely going to increase this season onward. Again, we're getting closer and closer. Prediction poll is live. So get your votes in. Underworld Wolves or LatinSeven Crimson. LatinSeven, their players right now. My man Tony, Yugi, and the Sun Phoenix. Underworld Wolves. We'll see who they play. I think the roster they often go with, though, is Aiko, Grim, and Mari. We'll see if Reckless plays or if Sammy's even playing, because Sammy often is available as well, and oftentimes we've seen him subbed in for Underworld Wolves. By the way, last time that they did play against LatinSeven Crimson back in week 1, it was a 3-1 game. 3-1 series, by the way. I think I forgot to mention that LatinSeven did take a game off of Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion. Again, we will wait a little patiently here as they join on in. Again, while we wait for them to join on in, be getting things underway shortly. Again, we have my man Tony, who, by the way, is another caster, by the way. I've actually worked with him in the past once, I think. Back in the Indie Gaming League, so it's been a while since I've seen my man Tony, but I recognize him. Joining in with Yugi, Sun Phoenix. These guys, I think these players have all been teammates for a little. At this point, I don't know exactly. Again, I haven't seen LatinSeven Crimson. As there we go on the other side, it's actually the full roster for Underworld Wolves. Everybody's available tonight. We'll see which of their players are playing here in this first match. Aiko, Grim, and Reckless. Reckless will be playing instead of Reckless will be playing instead of Mari or Sammy, which usually it's Mari who plays. But obviously, Reckless here tonight. That is that third player listed on that roster for them. But I think we'll get ourselves in very soon, as we are getting a message that there is a little bit of a timing issue, and there is a disconnect issue. Looking to, again, get into this in just a few minutes. Again, we have a slight tech pause. One of the Underworld Wolves have just joined in, but they're having a little bit of issues here. Again, apologies. While we wait. As again, we will hopefully be getting into this series, and again, just a moment. Again, apologies on that. Underworld Wolves, again, reminder, 4-3 of their record. LatinSeven are 1-6. While again, we wait on Underworld Wolves to fix their tech issue. Again, get your votes in. Prediction poll is still live. Hello, Mari in chat. How nice to see you. And this is our final match of the evening as well, if I haven't already mentioned. Just checking on real quick. Okay, I think. As okay, people are the people in the game right now having a little fun. If you guys are hearing those dings, that's everybody using the in-game text chat, having a little fun with each other. As there we go, a best of 5 series. Oh, okay, the tech issue has been fixed here. Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion, again, the renamed Underworld Wolves Black on the blue. They take on LatinSeven Crimson on the orange, and this is the final week of the regular season. for both of these teams. They're both very likely going to make it into the playoff bracket, but where is still up in the air. As Underworld Wolves off to an early start, Reckless. Well, he wasn't the one who shot that one, so it must have been an own goal for LatinSeven Crimson. Here's that ball will go right across the goal, and oh, it was Sun Phoenix getting it the wrong direction. Underworld Wolves, again, have already beaten this team once so far this season, 3-1 in Week 1. It says then, though, that these rosters have undergone, I think, minor changes for LatinSeven, but major changes for Underworld Wolves. Reckless didn't play against this team in Week 1, so we'll see how he plays here as Underworld Wolves looking to keep up that pressure as Sun Phoenix passing it off to Yugi. A little bit of ping pong right now as Grim Queen will clear this one back. Phoenix demoed away as Underworld Wolves looking to make some space here. Reckless, though, isn't willing to challenge up. Again, he's a newer player for Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion. We'll see how he works with this roster as Grim Queen looking for net. Oh, her shot's just a little wide, and Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion need to reset on making plays as Reckless again. Aiko waiting in the midfield. That pass will connect, but no shot on the end of it. And now for Underworld Wolves, they're hitting around the target, but not on the target. The offense just doesn't feel direct enough, but they are leading by 1, so I guess to be fair, they're not going to need to complain too much as LatinSeven have just not been able to get onto offense here. But they'll go upfield now. My man Tony. Grim Queen once again collects as Sun Phoenix waiting there to 50 her. Now in comes Aiko Wesky. That touch will go out to the back wall. She demos one. Tony's whiffed. Oh, Reckless somehow missed the net. And still it's only a 1-goal lead. LatinSeven Crimson have a little bit of fortune on their side right now for game number 1. It is only 1 goal scored. As they're struggling just to get that ball out as the Sun Phoenix. Aiko Wesky looking to keep that ball away. Yugi with that pinch. Reckless will clear it out. He's been a little more defensive so far as Grim Queen and Aiko Wesky are generally better at playing on the offense. Not looking to take that kind of position just yet. I don't know if maybe the ultra-defensive playstyle of LatinSeven is hurting them or what it is, but there's a sense of hesitation right now from Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion. It feels like they could really take over this game if they just were able to play a little bit more aggressively as Grim Queen now setting up Aiko Wesky, longtime teammates. Unable to find that shot there. Ever since Aiko Wesky was last on striker, yeah, she left to form a team of Grim, but that's not going to help them very much. As my man Tony pinched with Reckless, and no chance for Underworld Wolves to block that one. As the game tying itself up at 1. Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion have never won on this stream. As an org, they have played here 7 times. This team specifically has been on this stream 6 times. They've lost every single time. I may say that this stream is cursed, but I know for a fact Aiko Wesky, again, who's been the one to book me for, these matches, she's mentioned she has always wanted to be on the stream to get that win, to break that, losing streak, and it's a great time to do so, and with a shot like that from the Grim Queen, well, maybe they're off to a good start here. Just a great reach as well. She beats out my man Tony. Even though that shot's slow, nobody else back. She'll take every goal she can get. Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion, while the season itself and this stream itself has always been tough for them, they've been relatively solid this season. A 4-3 record is definitely nothing to be ashamed of. Record, I think, a lot better than what they were looking like last season. Well, obviously, their plans this season are to do a lot better in the playoff bracket. They lost in the round of 16 last season. Obviously hoping that this season will prove to be a little bit better for them as Grim Queen looking to set up Reckless. That touch will go wide of the goal, and Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion. A challenge again as LatinSeven. Upfield is Yugi, cleared back by Grim Queen. Tony not able to get the touch. 2 players commit as Sun Phoenix not able to get there either. And here goes a chance in field. Aiko unable to get to it. Reckless now looking to the back wall. This one saved by my man Tony. Underworld Wolves still staying close as Aiko calls her touch. Now she'll look midfield. Yugi's on the whiff, but again Tony there to clean things up. And the benefits for LatinSeven Crimson in this game is that Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion are just learning right now Still feels like they're not comfortable playing aggressively right now. Sitting back a lot, it feels like they're nervous that LatinSeven Crimson can clear that ball all the way back as Reckless in midfield. It'll be cleared out by Yugi, but now without another challenge from Iko Weski. LatinSeven pushing upfield, saved away initially. Yugi looking midfield for Tony. That shot finding the net. Grim Queen will be able to get to it on the end. And a pinch away. Less than 30 seconds to go in Game 1. It has been much closer than I think the Underworld Wolves have wanted to admit it has been. As Reckless, at redirect, wasting out more time. Maybe that time can benefit them heavily here. Grim Queen looking for Iko, saved by Tony. Still the net's wide open. Yugi will get back. LatinSeven's got to go the full length of the field here. Yugi dunked out by Iko Weski. This ball stays up, and it still stays up. LatinSeven needs to get on the end of this, but unable to challenge. Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion will take Game 1. And the offense for Underworld Wolves, well, it has been relatively muted this game. It has been enough. LatinSeven Crimson have been on defense for almost the entirety of this game. 25% of the time, LatinSeven had field domination. You don't see field domination statistics that one-sided very often. As Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion able to take game number 1. LatinSeven taking this full minute to talk things out. Literally, they're still talking in the in-game text chat. They've been talking since before the series even started. As we'll go right into game number 2. These teams, again, just very talkative here, which I love to see that. They're both having fun here in week number 8. By the way, the last week of the regular season. Again, this is also going to be a huge points of importance for how these teams will feel getting into the playoffs. So for Underworld Wolves, obviously want to get to the best kind of run they can. Win here would be hugely important for them, just to prove that they are consistent, even with the amount of roster changes they have gone through. And Queen specifically has been a player that's always been trying to prove herself. She's never been able to truly break into that, elite status at this level. But again, how many times we've seen her on this stream, always felt like Grim Queen's had that level that she can be at that top level. But right now, she's not going to be the focus of this game. Reckless able to score early as he just beats past my man Tony, and with the net open like that, he won't be missing. Underworld Wolves keep the scoring coming. Reckless looking for another. Grim Queen up as well, but Reckless calling his shot. Unable to get that touch, but Iko Weski will. And it's goal number 2 for UW Wolves. Grim Queen almost took that away from Reckless there. Would have been a terrible position to be in. I'm sure she had a very good shot planned, but Reckless making sure that he knew what he was doing. Getting up Iko Weski off the back wall. As Grim Queen demoed out by Sun Phoenix, Iko Weski sent back in by Yugis. He'll get past Reckless. My man Tony. Grim Queen able to take this one away, and it will be time for her to attack. Looking for the bump on Phoenix. Oh, she won't get it, but it won't matter. The Sun Phoenix accidentally own-calling in his own nets. And Underworld Wolves, the kind of offense we have been looking for in this kind of series. Game 1 was a lot weaker from them. Game 2, much more aggressive. And this is a much improved performance from game number 1, Underworld Wolves. Team that when they are confident, you're going to see them take this kind of scoreline. Specifically, Grim Queen is really going to step up and be a lot more aggressive. Now this team evolves around how Grim Queen's feeling. If she's confident, this team is usually just as confident around her. As Iko Weski now gets through Yugi. Reckless unable to beat my man Tony. And LatinSeven Crimson just looking to hold on tight as Grim Queen dunked by Tony. Yugi staying on top of this one, but No play in the midfield. Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion will have this one away as Aiko Weski. This one to midfield. My man Tony demoed out of the way. It will be enough time for Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion to be able to recollect as Reckless. Only unable to feel this one, and it's Underworld Wolves who have themselves on offense. Yugi, that bounce, able to get past Aiko Weski as scoring slowing down here for Underworld Wolves. Mannfield doing well to provide a much stronger defense, but their offense, once again, being shut down. They've just been a little too defensive. And unless they can get shots on that net, this scoreline will stick like this. As Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion will keep that ball away. Grim Queen unable to shoot as Yugi will be up to challenge. 2 players back. That one inched outwards as my man Tony gets past the Grim Queen. Aiko now, that touch, going back to Reckless, an unorthodox back pass from the Lunar Legion captain. But she'll trust her teammates enough to reflect on what I think was an unintentional play from her. Eventually that ball sent back again as LatinSeven still looking to shoot. Aiko Weski again looking for another clear. LatinSeven Crimson stays on top of this one as Sun Phoenix unable to shoot. My man Tony. LatinSeven still holding offense here. They've definitely improved overall. LatinSeven look, but again unable to get those shots. They're going to be in a very, very tough battle. Because right now the major battle is just, can they get offense? Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion continue to just clear that ball away as Yugi unable to break through there. Grim Queen looking midfield. Yugi bumped out by Sun Phoenix. My man Tony will win the 50-50 and LatinSeven keep the play going. Yugi though, dunked by Aiko Weski. And Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion stay on top as Grim Queen. Aiko! Here comes Reckless, and that one will be saved by Yugi. Those first 3 goals have been the only goals so far this game. We have not seen continued scoring from either side. But for Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion, they don't need to score at this point. They triple match point. They're in quite a good position already. Again, with their defense itself just being really adept at shutting down LatinSeven's attacks and their pressure overall. They only need a matter of time before they are able to take this game. And the amount of time is 45 seconds and counting. My man Tony. Not going to get through that midfield all that easily here as once again LatinSeven shut down as Reckless will come through. Sun Phoenix able to get much on the offense, but he does keep it for LatinSeven. Maybe a chance to score here as a double commit. That's going to take away that chance for LatinSeven. And once again, Underworld Wolves will send another clear. Reckless to the back wall. Aiko Weski looking to jump for this one, but demoed out by Yugi. Nobody there for Underworld Wolves. They won't see a 4-0 lead, but I think they'll take 3 nonetheless. Game 2 will be for the Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion. 1-0 game away from their first win on this stream as an org. We may see history here for an organization that has seemingly never been able to perform up to the level that they want to. But this series looking a whole lot more composed. LatinSeven Crimson have been unable to keep up with the Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion. Underworld Wolves, again, they're just in every single game so far. That offense, a lot better this game. They started off very, very well. Now all they need to do is just continue that. Prove that they have consistency in that shooting. And with that, and with time, I'm sure that they'll be happy because a field sweep, not unlikely with how they've been playing. As we're actually getting a call here for a server reset from LatinSeven Crimson, so we're going to quickly get that up and running for them. There we go, we'll get the new lobby set up. Our best of 5 series continues onward, and while again we wait for these sides to join back in. good amount of people coming into the stream for this match. Thank you all so much for showing your support. And this best of 5 or final match of the evening here on the Sportiest stream. Everybody back in for both these teams. We'll see who sticks around as we are waiting on one player from LatinSeven. No, we're not. Actually, are we waiting on? I think we are. No, we're not. We're actually here as... Thank you for the follow, Taylor Dingo. Welcome to Sportiest stream. Thank you so much for your support. Again, LatinSeven called for the lobby reset here, so we should be good to get back into this. Underworld Wolves, who are they playing this time? I think it's the same 3 players, though. Yeah, they have the same 3 players in. It should be the same roster. As we go into game number 3, Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion. 1 game away from a sweep at the end of the regular season, and their first time winning on this stream. A good amount of pressure on them, I'm sure, but they have beaten this LatinSeven Crimson team before. They beat them in week 1. With a roster that is a whole lot better at the end of the season. Looking very likely to do it again as Grim Queen already off to a great start. 15 by Sun Phoenix. And it will be cleared back as Reckless. Off the sidewall, my man Tony unable to collect as Reckless, who has been able to score, I think, first in both of the last 2 games. Going to definitely lead his team once again as, man, that's the first time we've ever seen Reckless playing for the Underworld Wolves. He was added to this team mid-season. Since then, I think he's always been a player that's wanted to be on that starting portion, and now he gets his chance, and, well, look at what he's doing there. That is a beautiful pass, Aiko Wesky. Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion just looking in control as that touch pinged off the back wall. No one from LatinSeven able to read it. And they'll put that one in the net. As a planned attack for Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion will go correctly. 1 goal up already as they'll look for another one. LatinSeven has only scored, I believe, once this series so far. Obviously coming in game number 1, a 2-1 scoreline. I think Underworld Wolves would love to keep that shutout, especially now this game has been looking. They are not going to get nearly as many chances with game 2's end looking so even. LatinSeven have proven they can definitely create offense. Just about what kind of shots they put on that net. Because overall, they have been lacking in that department here this series. As Grim Queen, with an outplay on 1, Sun Phoenix will clear. But bumped out. Open space for Reckless. Nobody back. And it will be another one in for Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion. As a bump from the Grim Queen. As I said, when she's confident, she will tend to go for those plays. Plays open up. And a good performance so far. Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion. Reckless. Well, let's send this one back. Obviously the pressure on these players still mounting. Only 2 goals up with 3 minutes to go. Underworld Wolves have to play consistent. Grim Queen unable to get that dribble through. The ball again just being shot down the field by LatinSeven. There's been so many heavy clears. They realize that they're just not in a great position to get offense. They are really relying heavily on just getting quick touches, quick offense here against the Underworld Wolves. Trying to catch them on those missed rotations, but the fact of the matter is that Underworld Wolves, again, are only leading by 2, and LatinSeven Crimson, I realize, again, that offense of theirs has not been producing well enough. This is where things slowly can turn around, but it'll have to come after this goal as Grim Queen puts in her first of the game. And again, just wasn't ready to see that one go in. It's the 50 under Yugi. The ball will trundle its way to the net. Another 3-0 lead here for Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion. As this feels felt like tonight has just been their night to perform. Sun Phoenix. Still keeping it here as the Sun Phoenix. Around a couple players, but Aiko Wesky waiting at net. And the block will be made by Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion. As an infield pinch from my man Tony. Reckless will not wait any time to get that one out, and The Wolves at this point just trying to waste out time, but this is going to be awkward. Sun Phoenix gets over everyone. And LatinSeven. Just a little pop-up over everyone. Sun Phoenix with the boost advantage. And after so much of a goal drought for LatinSeven Crimson, they will score once again. Still 2 goals down, but maybe this is a sign of hope for Game 3. Underworld Wolves still looking to score right back. Reckless with no one between him. And right off the kickoff, Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion will take another one. That tap in from Reckless. With LatinSeven slow to react, he has no issue scoring. Aiko Wesky now. Grim Queen jumping in as well, but overcommit for Underworld Wolves. Reckless will have to play a little bit more defensively here, but Yugi mishandling this one, and that's going to give all the time Lunar Legion need to attack. Grim Queen able to win that first challenge. We'll go for another one as infield for Reckless. No one here to connect. Underworld Wolves, once again, just being a little bit more on the defensive side, a little bit more cautiously. Times ticking away slowly. Sun Phoenix, Reckless. Yugi able to block, but again, Underworld Wolves looking for more on offense. Grim Queen, Aiko Wesky not able to connect there. Underworld Wolves going right back to their side of the field as my man Tony. Aiko Wesky looking to stay on top of this one. Grim Queen's whipped! Oh, but no shot it came in. Yugi wasn't ready. LatinSeven with a huge missed opportunity. Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion, well, they haven't been able to clear just yet. They're taking that ball right back up to offense. Yugi, 50'd by Grim Queen as Aiko Wesky. Maybe a chance for her to take her second goal of the game. But that touch, Reckless, unable to reach Sun Phoenix. Yugi, Grim Queen, the only one back for her side, and she's got to waste out some time. But eventually, they will find the outplay. 10 seconds and counting. Time running out. And Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion, they've done it! Their first win on this stream! It's been a long road to get here. Aiko and Grim Queen have not won since November 21st of 2023. And on Underworld Wolves, they'll finally get a win on this stream. A roster themselves that have been relatively successful, this stream has always been a tough ask for them. They've been here 7 times before. Now on appearance number 8, they will get their victory. At the end of the season too, a huge momentum booster. Re-O sweep, Underworld Wolves, Lunar Legion. They have been on the stream so often, and to not win, man, it has been a hard battle. You knew it was going to happen at some point, though, and it happened in the very final week of the regular season. And we are going to get a little interview here with them to end off the night. If we take a look at our schedule and what we saw already, NIRV Technique winning earlier over Steel 3-1. World Wolves Lunar Legion now with a 3-0 sweep over LatinSeven Crimson. What a night it has been of incredible action, of fun storylines. A great way to end it off as well here. Wesky, who's been on the stream so often. She's been kind of a staple of the stream. She's been here so many more times than so many other people, and yet she joined us here for the interview as well. Aiko Wesky, it's been a long time coming. Underworld Wolves Lunar Legion finally break the losing streak on this stream. Finally break the bad fortune, I guess you would say, that this stream seems to bring to your team. You get a win. I think your team's been here 7 times before. Now you finally can say that you have won on this stream. How does it feel to be able to take down LatinSeven Crimson?
You know, it feels pretty good to get the win out of this game, because especially this game being the last game coming out of the regular season now, and we're getting ready to go to playoffs, and this win brought us to not being the same as last season and having an even record. So it feels pretty good to get this one.
As you mentioned as well, it has, it feels pretty good. Again, you mentioned as well, you've beaten LatinSeven already, 3 games to 1 in week 1. Now in week 8, a lot of things have changed from Underworld Wolves. Name changes, player changes. There's been a lot of changes for this team, but it feels like you are running in the right direction. I'm sure you would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, we've made a few roster changes. Like we dropped Dead Rex. He had some real life issues that he had to take care of, so we unfortunately had to lose Dead Rex. Rest in peace, Dead Rex. I don't know why I said rest in peace. Don't think that he's dead. He's not.
I was
He's
gonna say,
not dead.
I was gonna say, knowing, I was gonna say, I don't think Deadvex was dead, literally,
No,
but, um,
no, he's not
really,
dead.
really taking to that name, isn't he?
He is. But we've made roster moves. We've added Sammy and Mari. Those were big roster moves. We added in Reckless. And he's a good player. I haven't gotten much playing time with him, but he's still a good player nonetheless.
Sweep as well, and you mentioned how important it is going to playoffs. Last season, your team was about the same, about in the same position as well, middling around the season. Feels like this season you improved a little bit, but I know that the Underworld Wolves win the league, and their major goal is the playoffs, being able to improve. You remember last season was not a great time in the playoffs. You lost in the round of 16. Now, admittedly, I did stream that, so maybe that's the problem. Because whenever I don't stream, you seem to win. But again, this season you get to go to the playoffs. Again, you get to go back to the round of 16. A little bit of a better seeding as well, but obviously your goal is to do a lot better than last season, to do a little better, make it far. What is your goal for this team going into the playoffs this season? Because obviously that's really where this team is looking to improve the most.
I think the goal that I have for this team, because we've proven that once we're able to step up and keep our heads up, that we're able to beat good teams. Like I wasn't expecting us to beat, I think it was a number 3 seed, 2LX Immortals.
That would
Uh
ring a bell, yes.
I didn't think that we were gonna beat them, but we managed to. I think if we can continue to play the way that we have been playing in that series alone, then I really do think that we could win the championship if we continue to play that way.
You heard the goal for Underworld Wolves and Legion. Let's to win that championship at the end of the season. Well, now I go West, get 3-0 sweep over LatinSeven Crimson. You're trending in the right direction. And again, you're also breaking the bad omen that this stream seems to give to you. So I'm sure you're pretty happy to do that. You have not won on this stream since November 21st of 2023. So, and that was when you played against Turtle Island Esports. So it's been a while for you, but I'm sure, breaking that long losing streak. It's one of the longest losing streaks we've had in a while on this stream. I'm sure that's got to make you feel pretty good, but more importantly, you're just doing well this season. A 4-3 record, now a 5-3 record to end off your regular season, going into the playoff bracket. Congrats on your win, Aiko, but before you leave, obviously, is there any last things you want to say? Any shoutouts, any final words out there before your team starts looking ahead to that single elimination top 16 bracket?
Obviously, I have to give a shout out to my team, Underworld Legion, Mari, Sammy, Grim, Reckless. We've had some ups and downs in this season, but we've started to look more up in this season, especially with team chemistry and trying to get that playing time in. I do also want to give a shout out to our coach Mealy. Mealy hasn't been around for too long, but he has given us some pointers and it really has helped us out, as it has been proven.
Again, thank you so much for joining, Aiko Wesley. Congrats on your 3-0 sweep win over LatinSeven Crimson. Good luck in the playoff bracket, and hopefully we'll get to see you for part of that.
Thank you. Thank you for casting Sporty.
And I was like, Oweski joining us there, the captain of Underworld Wolves. Little Legend, thank you for the comments as well, Reckless, Grim, and Mari in chat. For now, that's it for the night. Thank you all so much for being so supportive. We're going to get a raid out here to end off our night. Thank you all so much for joining the sportiest stream. But for now, take care, have a great night, and we will see you guys again very, very soon. Take care. Be well, everybody.